Good day everyone, welcome to today's video. Today it's the review on the 7546 M43. Now I know what you're thinking, where's the 7534 M43? Well, I'm not spading that. That thing is a pile of crap. And using the same gun as the P40 when you can fight KV-85s isn't nice. Obviously that's only in a full up tier, but we'll gloss over that. If you want me to do a review on it or something, like maybe a first impressions, then I will, but don't expect too much. So this tank is a heck of a lot of fun. I looked at the gun and I knew I was going to like it. Slightly better than the Panzer IV's gun, and obviously it's at 4.3, same battle rating as the Panzer IV-H. Now I didn't get too many up tiers in this thing. Most of them were 4.7, and this thing is more than capable of handling itself. I only had one 5.3 game, where I killed an M18 and a couple of others. And overall this tank's just been a lot of fun to spade. The machine gun has returned, and this now fully rotates 180 degrees on the tank. It obviously now aligns with your cursor, so it is much more accurate than the 75-18s. Gaijin, please fix that. But this tank destroyer, if we go over to my stats, has actually served me relatively well. With 94 ground kills, 2 air kills, I'll explain those in a moment, and 15 deaths, that is a 6-to-1 kill death ratio, I believe. The 2 air kills, one of which was with the machine gun, where I hit a lag 3 once and he crashed into a tree, giving me the kill. And the second one was on a Potez who was flying straight. I thought I'll fire a 75 at him, and luckily it hit. But hey, sometimes you've got to have a bit of luck, haven't you? Now the original replay I was going to use was on the second match in this thing. But of course, those bloody micro patches, at least I believe it's deleted it. Let me just go and check. Yes, it has. It has deleted it, unfortunately. But the vehicle itself has actually got pretty decent armor, so we're going to go over that. I've added a few cosmetic details to the vehicle just to make it stand out a bit more. It's got this Italian SPG insignia. I thought this would suit the tank since it is an SPG, so to speak. Obviously it is a tank destroyer, but I also class it as an SPG. It's got a small shield here. I don't know why I put that. A couple of Italian hats over the tow hooks, and Friday the 13th on the gun barrel. That will come into view later. So let's go over the armor. So the armor itself, when you first look at it, looks pretty crap. 25mm of armor would not even stop the average SPAA. But it's actually double layered. There's a 75mm plate just behind it, which is the original armor on this vehicle. And the driver's port, if we go here, is 90mm thick. So don't shoot here on this thing. This is 115. It is very tough in terms of the front. Don't angle either. This will present a flat spot and only 65mm of effective armor. Well, sorry, no, 70, because this is the upper part. The upper part is 45 behind the spaced armor, and the lower part is 40. However, do bear in mind the lower part of side armor only covers a certain part. The structural steel basically accounts for nothing, so don't expect that to save you. The lower glacis and shall I say the upper glacis part and the lower glacis part, they seem weak, and they are, but what's right behind it? Your gearbox. This will actually soak up quite a few shells. There are certain shells that will go straight through it though, such as SA-50s, T-34-57s, etc. Those tanks can also punch right through your frontal armor. Those you've got to be careful of, and I'd recommend prioritizing them. So what about mobility? Well, this thing's not too bad in the maneuverability department. It's reasonably fast once you get it upgraded, relatively slow when it's stuck. That's one thing to bear in mind. You've got to be careful of your mobility and positioning. It's got 10 degrees of gun depression, so it's more than adequate. The machine gun obviously only carries 5 bullets pretty much. and it will not do much. But it is handy for fending off planes. So I'm actually going to show 2 replays, not obviously today. I'm only doing the spade impressions today. And I will obviously show the second one tomorrow at the time of this recording. And that second replay, I'll go over in more detail. I was 3/4 spaded when I did that, and this one I think I was about 3/4 spaded as well. I forgot to mention as well, the rear of the casemate has not changed. It's still 45 and 25 respectively. So let's jump into the battle. Now in this battle, I was joined by Dark Angel, who really doesn't have that much of a good game, unfortunately. But he got to see this thing firsthand. This would be the first time he actually saw the tank destroyer. Well, no, the second time he saw this tank destroyer, because we took it out in a previous match. Had a reasonable game in it. And at one point, I actually got 3 aces back to back in this thing, with 4 ground kills and an air kill, that being the lag, a 6-kill game, and this one. But naturally I got screwed over in the next match with just a single kill, but we'll gloss over that. So in this battle, I do not have the engine or transmission done. I have the filters, I have the crew replenishment. I'm not certain what this Panzer IV was trying to do. I think he was trying to let me hook on, or maybe the Dick and Max that's currently behind me. Dark Angel being Dark Angel, he's going to take time to spawn in, so you won't see him for a few moments. But there you can see the machine gun. It is operated by the gunner, so you don't have to worry about it being knocked out if you lose your commander, who's in the right hand seat. You get 504 rounds, so you should get about 20 or so reloads on your machine gun. But whilst it's not very deadly to planes, in the second battle that I will show, obviously not today, it actually fends off planes. People think it's a 20mm cannon for some reason, and yet this gun this machine gun surprisingly scares people, which is a bit unusual, probably because they've not seen this tank destroyer before. That's probably why, and they think it's a heavy machine gun. Because normally you'd expect an American tank to be shooting up at you if you're in a plane. But you'll see in tomorrow's video, obviously, when this goes out. Yes, I finished spading this thing just before I did this recording, and I've had a lot of fun. There have been some stinking matches, of course, because the teams are terrible. Still, I mean, they're getting better, but there's still nothing great. Now this position here is where I'm going to sit for a good couple of minutes and take a lot of smack in. Dark Angel is coming up behind in a Panzer IV-G. Why did I say T-34? I do not know. Obviously I spot the T-34 firing there. And there you can see the gun. It is absolutely amazing. That's why I put Friday the 13th on the barrel. First kill. Jumbo. Jumbo dead. Single shot. Second kill. If that doesn't show the power of this gun, I don't know what will. Now range that M10 just a bit too high there. But there's an Su-57B, another jumbo. Okay, I bounced out then. And there's also a KV-1 over there. At this point, as you can imagine, I go to brown alert. I start backing up. That bounces off the additional armor on the M10 dismantler. I was kind of expecting that to bounce, to be fair. Su-57 smacks me in the side, but luckily on the side plate doesn't do anything. He hits another shot on me. That's perfectly fine. And here you can see I'm being shot by about 4 tanks, and the armor's holding. Somehow. Dark Angel gets smacked by the Panzer IV-G, and he was so embarrassed that he got killed by an Su-57, he sent his displeasure to me in Discord. Well, voice communications. Smack that T-34 there. just missed the ARL. And currently I'm screaming to him, Bosch, I need some backup, and being shot by about 4 enemy tanks, and... Well, I'm trying to range the SU. I fired a machine gun just to try and seem more intimidating. It's not very intimidating, this machine gun, but... maybe to a truck, I guess. M10 misses. But here you can see the armor at this kind of range is actually pretty good. Obviously, don't rely on it, because they can get through gaps in the armor. They can get through the lower glacis. And as soon as I hit that marker there, I just did not fire at that jumbo again. Didn't know it was a jumbo at the time, but here comes Dark Angel again in a Stug 3F to come and give me some backup. As you can imagine, I'm backing up hard. And for some strange reason, this KV-1L11 thinks he can outduel me. No, mate. You can only penetrate the lower glacis and the side. And even then, you have to be close to do it. I could pen a KV-1 up to around 2 kilometers, I think. Let's have a look. Just to confirm. Yes, I can. I can pen him at 2 kilometers. If I hit the right spot, mind you. Misjudged that. Maybe a little higher and I might have had him. Me and Dark Angel both hate that tank, the SU-7B. It is a terrible tank. And for some strange reason, even though I smacked that KV-1L11, he is going to still try and shoot at me for some strange reason. I don't know why he would. Because as I mentioned, at that kind of range, he could only pen the low glacis, and even then, I'm hull down. I thought he was there. Never mind. But, reloading a shell. And smacked him straight for 90mm of thick armor on the gun mantlet. Job done. 4th kill. And there you can see we've got more tanks shooting at us. Dark Angel was worrying me at this point. He said, I misheard him at first. I thought he said tank on your left. That's why I panicked, but I soon looked and it was him. The gun is extremely easy to aim, it's just most of these tanks are hull down and I didn't know it. But honestly, this gun is my second favourite gun in the Italian tree. What's my first favourite? The 90mm. There you go, on the Breda and the 1953 M41M. That's my favourite gun in the Italian tree so far. This is my second favourite, followed by the 47mm that you get on the reserves and the AB43 and M1542. Probably say my fourth favourite is the short 75 that you get on the earlier Semoventes. But for that to be competitive, you have to load heat, and it's not really great. And the 75-34 M43 is a better rating 4. And I'd like to see you do what I've just done, what I did to those jumbos. Or to that jumbo, to be precise. I recommend taking nearly full ammo in this thing. Your armor should hold the majority of times. And even then, if you want to snipe him up like this, you're going to need ammo. But now we're just moving up here to a different position. I don't want to stick in the same position all day because then they'll probably be calling air support, bomb my ass, and I didn't get revenge killed much by planes. I think I only got hit by a plane twice, and even then, the armor held. Well, held, shall I say. Dark Angel is about to traverse the court. Well, he's just turned around and just found an M10 behind that hill. I spot him, I fire on the moves. I didn't hit the brakes there. Hitting the brakes was destabilize the gun, and I wouldn't have been able to save Dark Angel. I smacked the M10, he's dead. It's a T-34 right there. Dark Angel's like, where is it? Where is it? But don't worry, buddy. I got this. And there we go. You can see why most Russian tanks would fear this thing. It's got good armor to stop their shells the majority of times. And it's got an amazing gun, which will leave them for dead. Your main threats, however, are T-34-57s for the Russians. For the British, you've got to worry about Fireflies. And here's one of those Demos guys. I think he's been playing too much Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And, well, you might want to go back to Assassin's Creed, buddy. Kill number 7. And if no one gets that joke, then... jeez. I mean, I get it. Not many people liked Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but come on. I loved it. Origins was good as well, but even so. So, we're at 7 kills for the moment. But there was a Cromwell that was rushing the open there. Don't know why you would, personally. It's a Cromwell. It's not exactly got armor. But I spot him. I bring the gun up. He turns there for some reason, give me a flat spot at turret. Job done. 8th kill. Dark Angel's on my left in the Stug 3F. And there is a T-34 right in front of us. Obviously, I just had to look away, didn't I think Dark Angel tells me that there's a T-34 in front at the moment. Now, there was a T-34-57 that took out a ally over to the right-hand side near A. I believe it was a KV-2. That's why I was a bit more cautious. Obviously, Dark Angel just got smacked by the T-34. And before I can get the gun on target and fire, the T-34 smacks him one, taking him out of battle. That's unfortunate, but I suppose you could consider that a bad point of the vehicle. Penetrates from roof armor. 9th and final kill for the match. Dark Angel says to me now, I've got SPA support, I believe. Yes, I do. He's brought in his Wind, also known as the Easy Wind or the Cancer Wind. He does like the Wind, he also likes the 4G. I don't think he's a big fan of the Stug 3F. And I was hoping for this Sherman Firefly, because I saw his 50 cal right about now. And I was hoping for him to pull out for it in front of me, but sadly, a BF-110 flown by Gundalf, which is an awesome name, takes him out. And that's the end of the match. So what do I think to this thing? Well, if you have had bad impressions on the Semovente line, you need to have a go with this thing. It's an optional purchase in the tech tree. You only have to get 6 vehicles. I think this is the 7th that you can unlock. But needless to say, I had a heck of a lot of fun with this thing. Next tank I'm going to be spading is going to be the M43, which is basically an Italian Firefly. Didn't really like the Firefly in the British tree, but let's see how it does with the Axis. And I will also get to work on the second battle, which features a rather ironic crybaby. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's spading impressions. Do get this thing, it is a heck of a lot of fun. And you never know, if you get any air kills in this thing with a machine gun or the 75, send them in as a subscriber replay. I will gladly feature it, because I love seeing planes get blown out the sky by tank destroyers at least. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll catch you all on the next one.